Hi, so today I'm going to be discussing about my Summer of Bitcoin journey and what worked for me and how I got in along with Google Summer of Code. Now, in February, on a completely random day, I was scrolling LinkedIn with no plans or intentions, and I actually came across a random post talking about something called Summer of Bitcoin. It was offering the same stipend as GSOC, except the entire amount was in Bitcoin. I didn't overthink it, I casually applied and honestly just forgot about it. Now, fast forwarding to February 15, which was the deadline for the initial contributor applications for a 4-week assignment cohort, that's when I suddenly realized I had actually been selected the very next day I applied to it. And I went in with this mindset: this probably isn't going to happen. I'll just do it for fun and learn more about Bitcoin. So, week one assignment was about mining Bitcoin on Rectest. That part was manageable and fun, and it gave me a bit of confidence because I thought the challenges are going to be easy, and I had some experience with Bitcoin when I was working on deploying runes for my GSOC project. But week 2 and 3 challenges really tested my patience. We had to work with creating Bitcoin transactions and managing different transaction types like SegWit, nested, pay to secure hash, pay to witness script hash transactions. They were actually just 4 weeks of assignments, but the last one became optional because many contributors had exams. Somehow I made it through the cohort. Now, phase 2, it's exactly like GSOC, but narrow it down to 1 month. So you have to contribute in 3 weeks when the organizations are still rolling, and while contributing, you also have to create a proposal for the project. So, very, very less time to create a position for yourself in the organization. And for me, since I was not actually expecting to be a part of Summer of Bitcoin, I just left it to dry. Now, 1 month is left. I had zero Bitcoin experience, and I just couldn't get myself to contribute in the organizations because it was really hard as I didn't know anything about Bitcoin ecosystem, on how on-chain things, how on-chain transactions actually work, and going into something which is production ready was really overwhelming for me at that time. Now, just 2 weeks are left. I did something insane. I mentally tied myself to my desk chair. I first found an organization that aligned with my tech stack, and to be honest, because at that time it definitely wasn't Rust. And then I chose Unchained Caravan as it was colliding with my tech stack. Bitcoin on-chain development is really hard, but if you completely understand first the on-chain fundamentals, then I believe moving to layer 2 Lightning protocol would be easier. So I picked Unchained and I started working on the issues, and then in just 1 week, because I just had 2 week window, and in 1 week when I was contributing to the good first issues, I made a bold move and I started working on the actual project itself. That was risky because you are technically not allowed to work on the project. So I just started making it locally. It increased my chances significantly because I ended up knowing more about the project than any other contributor who was applying to it. Then 2 weeks of pure grind, and I went all in and I forced myself to learn all the on-chain fundamentals, and honestly that stuff is crazy, but I kept contributing, and somewhere the idea of cracking 2 open source programs at once in my head sounded really cool and kept me going, and maybe got me really interested in the last 2 weeks to really take Summer of Bitcoin seriously and crack it. So summarizing it, the Summer of Bitcoin have 3 phases. First is the assignment cohort, the 4-week assignment-based screening, rec test mining, Bitcoin transactions, all of the core Bitcoin fundamental concepts, not layer 2 stuff, but layer 1 stuff is included, the on-chain stuff. And the phase 2, if you pass the 4-week assignment period, the phase 2 is contribution and proposal period, similar to GSOC, and how you can get started with Summer of Bitcoin. If you are a rookie and have no experience, there are a ton of resources to get started with it, but honestly, how I started was very unstructured. I jumped from issue to issue, learning things as I broke them. That's what worked for me. It might work for you too, or it might not. Everyone has different ways to learn. Some people prefer structured learning. You can use Grokking with Bitcoin as a reference book while contributing, or you can just pick a Bitcoin project, start contributing, and learn on the go. For me, the entry point was through my GSOC project. Taking up an issue like deploying runes on ordinals on the Bitcoin blockchain taught me a lot and created an in for me For you, it might be grokking with Bitcoin or a random issue. The important part is to find an entry point and just start contributing. The closing thought for it would be Bitcoin and open source both looks impossible from the outside, but once you force yourself in, things slowly start to make sense. And sometimes going a little insane for a few weeks actually pays off.